things. They're going to build some other attractions. They're going to build a Tower of Babel. And I had to stop. I'm like, wait a second. You're building a Tower of Babel? Do you remember what happened in the Bible when people tried to build the Tower of Babel? If you don't know what the Tower of Babel is, it was in the Old Testament where people thought that they were going to build a tower high enough to reach the sky so they could meet God and be up in heaven and all that. That was why they did that. That pissed God off because God is a petty little bitch who gets pissed off about bullshit, and he confused their languages. He made everybody start speaking a different language. He punished them for building the Tower of Babel. So now, these Christians who believe in God and the Bible are going to build the Tower of Babel. I am not making this up. I promise you that it's in their plans to build a fucking Tower of Babel. And I had to ask him, isn't this a legitimate concern for Christians? Why on earth would you build something that God punished hundreds of people for building the first time? What the fuck are you people doing? And he laughed it off like, oh, well, we just speak English now and we're just trying to make a replica of it. And I'm like, dude, they built the Tower of Babel. God fucked them up. You guys know the story. And you're going to build the Tower of Babel. I cannot get over how unbelievably hilarious and stupid that is. If you're not laughing your ass off right now, you don't fully appreciate the situation. They're building a Tower of Babel. That's all I got. All right, moving along. This guy, the tour guide, he's the one that took us on the shuttle bus. This Tim guy, he talked to us on the shuttle bus on the way up there, and he took our whole group of like 25-ish people on a whole tour of the whole thing. He's very knowledgeable about the Ark. He's the one who designed all the signs, all the hundreds of signs that you see all throughout the Ark Encounter. Just a very, very nice, pleasant guy, this Tim guy was. He took everybody's questions. He answered them the best he could with, obviously, bullshit answers, because the whole thing's bullshit. You can't defend bullshit. Logically, anyway. Rationally, anyway. But yeah, he's just a really nice guy. I got to give the guy credit. He's smart or educated. He's got a lot of credentials. He's got a few degrees. He's written a few books. He's a smart guy. He's informed about his bullshit. He sells his bullshit very well with a very nice guy persona. I liked him. Me and Tim could be buddies. We could be friends. That wouldn't be a problem. But now, as for this monstrosity of ignorance, as for this abomination towards all things intelligence and rational, this fucking absolute affront to science, this fucking place, where do I begin? First of all, it took thousands of people 2 years and $100 million to build this fucking thing. And they're trying to tell me that a 600-year-old man built the first one 4,000 years ago without any technology, without any of our tools, without any of our knowledge of physics or engineering, with nothing. Just an old dude in the desert or the forest or whatever built this thing that took thousands of people 2 years and $100 million to build. This was back before nails were around. They tied fucking logs together to make rafts. But if you go into the Ark, you know what you see? You see steel beams, you see screws, rivets, you see lights, you see fire extinguishers, you see fire escapes. All the modern conveniences that you can imagine. All the wood is finely planed down. It couldn't have been more intricately put together by obvious engineers who knew exactly what the hell they were doing, with huge construction crews constructing this massive ass museum that took them 2 years and $100 million. I don't know how to drive this point home any further. They want us to believe a 600-year-old man did this. A 100-year-old man couldn't do this. And nobody lives past, let's be generous here and say 120 years old. By that age, by half that age, you shouldn't be building anything. 600? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck... Ooh. Whatever. So we're walking through this thing and we're seeing dinosaurs, animatronic dinosaurs inside their cages. We're seeing how they shoveled all the shit out of one window from 14,000 animals, because they say it's supposed to be 2 of each kind, so they think like kind means like 2 cats were on the Ark. But now we have a whole like leopards and cheetahs and all kinds of different cats, but they, I guess, micro-evolved from the 2 kinds. So from their calculations or whatever, there was about 14,000 animals. And there were 8 people on the boat. So 8 people took care of 14,000 animals every day, shoveled their shit out, fed them, tended to them for a year or whatever. So obviously food is going to be a problem. What do? They have this little section of the Ark where they're growing food. A fucking garden on this boat. Now listen, for a garden, you need a few things. They had the soil and they had the seeds. Fine, I can buy that. But then you know what else you need? You need sunlight. In an enclosed Ark with 1 window up at the top, you don't have sunlight to sustain a motherfucking garden. You just don't. So when you ask questions like, what about sunlight? They give you just bullshit answers. Oh, God works in mysterious... Get the fuck out of here. If you're going to propose this fucking horseshit that can be supported by science, you can't just throw out the caveat, oh, God works in mysterious ways and he can grow without sunlight. Just shut the fuck up, dude. Not only that, now we need water. You got to water your plants, right? And they're surrounded by salt water that's filled with dead thousands and millions of dead humans and animals and all this shit. You can't use that water to grow your fucking crops. And they say, oh, well, let us use rainwater. And they have this whole intricate irrigation system set up to where they were collecting rainwater to water these plants without any sunlight. And that's their answer for how they got all this food. Such an embarrassment. Such a fucking laughably insane embarrassment to humankind that they try to pass this off of as anything other than an insane fairy tale. Not only do they take this shit seriously, they build these monoliths in praise of this story and try to show you how it's real with the most bullshit excuses that could possibly be come up with. And then one of the worst parts, if not the worst part, was when I walked into the kids area. There were 2 signs in this kids area. One of the signs literally said this word for word. Quote, everybody died except 8 people in the Ark. Genesis chapter 7, verse 23, unquote. I'm like, why the fuck is this sign designated for the kids area? Why can't it just be a random sign somewhere? You gotta put this in the kids area? Like, hey kids, this is the fun kids area. Guess what? Everybody died except for 8 people. Whatever. And there was one other sign in the kids area that had the serpent, which was supposed to be Satan. And it said, if I can convince you that the flood wasn't real, I can convince you that heaven and hell aren't real. Ooh, spooky devil. And they got these things with people dying and serpents talking about going to hell. And they have all these children's books, cartoons and shit right next to all this mass slaughter. This is psychotic. Oh! What can I say, man? They had the finest modern technology going on here, and Ken Ham also saying that this is the most authentic recreation of Noah's Ark ever made. And they have screws and rivets, and they have electricity, and they have fire extinguishers, and they have every kind of modern technological convenience that you can think of, and this is supposed to be an exact replica. What do you say? I mean, what do you say to this kind of shit? Other than, fuck you people. I don't know. I don't have the words, man. I walked through that fucking thing for 3 hours in a pretty much head shake the entire time. There's just so much that to tell about how much shit they got wrong about everything. And we're asking Tim, the tour guide, and he was very nice, complete sweetheart, with answers that can be convincing if you're looking to be convinced, and if you just want any answer. But when you hear his answers and think about it for a couple of seconds, you're like, well, wait a second, that's bullshit. Don't go to the Ark Encounter. Don't support this shit. If you're able to get free tickets somehow, and you want to spend an evening or a day having a few chuckles and face palming throughout the day, sure, it can be fun. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I'm a masochist. I watch Christian propaganda movies just to watch the freak show. I've been to the Creation Museum. I listen to pastors preach sometimes just for the masochistic pleasure of it all. So I go to these kind of things too, just to watch the absolute freak show of people embarrassing themselves, trying to pass off fairy tales as reality. I didn't give them a dime of my money, and I won't. Ever. Fuck these people. They give me free tickets, I might go back again, maybe, maybe not. But I'll contribute not 1 cent to this fucking embarrassment. Yeah, $40 a ticket. Fuck you. And a 4,000 person turnout. I guarantee there were more people at Kings Island today than there were at the grand opening of the Ark Encounter. Whatever. Alright, moving right along to the rally after party.
Hi, this is David Silverman, president of American Atheists, and you're listening to Adamant Atheism.
Okay, so to completely round out this awesome day that I had, first was the protest, second was going to the Ark Encounter, and third was the after-party rally that the Tri-State Freethinkers organized, and I cannot thank these people enough. They are unbelievably awesome. Credit to Jim Helton, who's the president of the Tri-State Freethinkers, for organizing this whole thing. It was just an amazing day. After we left the Ark Encounter, we went to the after-party rally, which was basically, if you've ever been to an atheist convention, that's what it was. There was 7 or 8 speakers doing 10 or 20-minute presentations, and it was just such a blast. Callie Wright gave an amazing speech. She's one of my best buddies, and this was absolutely fantastic. She's usually very, very sweet person, but she showed her firebrand side tonight, and it was fucking amazing. David Silverman gave an awesome talk. He's president of American Atheists. David Smalley hosted the thing. He did a live dogma debate show there. Aaron Ross spoke. He's an amazing speaker. I consider him a friend. I think he knows me like a little bit. But yeah, everybody knows Aaron Ross. He was awesome. Dan Errol, he talked. He was really cool. Gail Jordan, you probably may or may not know her. She's running for, I think, the state senate in Tennessee. She gave a really good talk that inspired the hell out of me. So it was awesome seeing that. It was awesome being in that type of environment with friends and people who I identify most with, and just seeing that sense of community. Having people who stood out in the heat all day long protesting, going to the Ark Encounter and having civil discussions, albeit with crazy-ass people, and then winding down with amazing speakers and friends and people who might as well be my family, who are like family. Atheist activists joining together in camaraderie, discussing ideas, discussing strategies for the future, discussing ways how we can build our community, make it more diverse. We had scientists up there, authors, activists, presidents of organizations, really big names for something that was hastily thrown together. I think started planning just 3 weeks ago. I don't know, man. I don't have the words. This community means the world to me. This is what I base my whole life around. This is what I do with all of my spare time. We fight for equality. We fight for all things LGBTQ. We fight for tolerance. We fight for love and acceptance. And we fight for anti-discrimination. Anybody who can't get behind those causes, fuck you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want anything to do with you. You suck as a person, and you need to reevaluate your fucking life. Other than that, I don't really know what to say, man. The way that this community comes together and puts on these amazing events, and for free above all else. The whole thing was free for everybody to attend. We had people from all over the country coming in to join us in this protest and this after party. Ah, man. It can bring me to tears sometimes, just thinking about all the love and support and everything that we have in this community. I love this movement, I love this community, and I love all of you. If you're able to make it out today, I'm sure you can vouch for everything I said. This was just an incredible day. One of the best days I've had. Well, easily the best day I've had since the Reason Rally. I just can't say enough about how awesome this is and how much I love each and every one of you guys. and everything about this community. Yeah, we have our bullshit. There's a lot of drama that goes on here and there, but that's in every fucking community. You're gonna any kind